What we are talking about is one of the very known and ancient story in the world. It's the story of Adam and Eve. What we know about this story, usually, and that Adam was the first man and Eve was the first woman. That's the story. And whatever happens after that between man and woman. But this is not the story in consciousness. The history is his story, and mystery is my story. We want to go into the deep mystery of this story. We want to go to find ourselves in the story, not hearing stories about some first man and some first woman. We want to know the story, to hear the story in a deeper level, where the personal connection or the personal experience of us within ourselves meet these characters and learn something new about itself. That's the way we want to go deep into the story, to make this story something that resembles things in our personal lives. So we do it by learning about the characters in the story. And the characters, as you know, they are Adam and Eve. But what is the meaning of the word Adam? It's a name. In English, there is not special meaning to my best knowledge. It's just a name, or the first man. But the deep meaning of Adam, what is Adam? In Hebrew, we say Adam. And when we say Adam, we mean human being. That's the meaning of the word, human being, not a man, not a woman, not black, not white, a human being. And the word human being, it's two words, human and being. And when we say human, we mean the form, the image. Because we are complex, we are something that was organized from two different aspects of creation. The principle of masculine and the principle of feminine. Not the man, not the woman, not the male, not the female. The principles of femininity and masculine. Okay? So if you are talking about the human, we mean the form, the image, the body. But what is the being? Inside this uniform, what is the being? And the being is light, pure consciousness, or spirit. Different names and terms for the same thing. So our being inside the human frame, inside the human image, is light, pure consciousness, spirit. So we go a little bit deeper into the meaning of the name Adam. As we see it, Adam was not a man and he was not a woman. So what he was? Two principles. One is the form, and the form, Adam, when we relate to the form, we call it in Hebrew Adama, which means earth, land. And Adama, the earth element, is the source of the body, the image, the shape, the form. And then we go again to the name Adam, and we divide the word to A, which means air element, and Dam, which in Hebrew means blood, or the water element. So we bring into creation of man, of Adam, he's not a man, he's Adam, of this human being, we bring to its creation all the elements. And all the elements combine their powers together to give us the power to be us, to be spirit in the human frame. So with A of Adam, we are relating to the air element, to this oxygen that runs inside our blood and keeps our bodies alive. And with the word dam, which means blood, we relate to the water element. And the two elements, the air element and the water element, also unite in order to give us the oxygen that we need. The most needed thing on earth is air or oxygen. Now we look again at the name Adam, but from the point of view of the being. In the creation of the body, all the elements participate, except one. And this is the fifth element, which is light. It's the fifth element. We usually relate to four elements because all elements have a manifestation in the physical reality. But the light is different because it has no physical manifestation in reality. It's the spiritual element. That's why we call many times the spirit light. So from the point of view of the being, the pure consciousness, we call Adam Adameh. Adameh, you see there's Adama, which means length and what we talk about, the earth element. And there's Adameh, it's only a different, slight different with the sound. But it's completely different from the point of view, from the perception. So from the perception of the being, of the pure consciousness, of the light, of the spirit, the meaning of the Adameh, which it means that by the power of my imagination, this is the meaning of the word Adameh in Hebrew, by the power of imagination, I will become similar to the divine. That's the light and the fire element together. So in the creation of the spirits, the element light and fire united in order to create what we call the soul or the mind. So that's what we have to say about Adam, what we have to learn from this name about ourselves. So what we know about ourselves now, all the elements of the universe, earth, wind, air, water, fire, and light, had to unite in order to give their powers to us so we can become or go dive deep into this uniform, into the form that we are having now, and still not lose the spirit inside. But we forgot. We came and we identified completely with the body, with the form. And we forgot about the contact. content of inside the form. We forgot about our spirits. And our spirits need nourishment, not less than our bodies. But the spirit, what it needs to survive is unity with everything else. This is the brotherhood of all sentient beings. That's the source of the spirit. The spirit goes in our form right now, but it doesn't belong to the form. It still belongs to all spirits, to the great spirit that is a part of this great spirit. Okay, so where is Eve in the story? Soon we'll see her part. It's very simple, but very powerful. Right now, Adam is still not in the form, and this is the first stage of consciousness, of the evolving of consciousness. In the beginning, Adam was not a man, not a woman, not a male, not a female, but just a being, with the two principles of the masculine and the feminine as one. You can look at that as one coin, two sides of the same coin. One side, you see the feminine. You flip the coin and it's the masculine. But they are, from their point of view, they are one. They don't know about two sides. They don't have this concept of sides. This is the stage of the mighty or the void of the unconscious, where everything can happen in potential, but nothing has manifested itself yet. Okay? So after that, there is a division. The feminine take the female and the woman form, and the masculine goes into a man and a male form. And then they meet face to face. Now they are definitely in two sides, but they are not they forget the situation, the first stage of consciousness, which being one of a kind, two aspects of the one. So now they can relate to each other, have relationships. What we are striving to go from this point is to reunite the aspects of men and women, or the feminine and the masculine, to know unity from a different kind of perspective. Once we were one, but we didn't know. Then we knew each other, but we were divided and forgot. And now we are trying to reunite into the same oneness that we came from, but from a different point of view, not with the unconscious, but consciously. Consciously having the experience of one. So now we go to see Eve. And Eve, I don't know who translated the book and why he called her Eve, because her name in the book was Chava. So I know most English speakers do not know how to pronounce. When you left, you say ha ha ha. We say ha ha ha, but maybe only in Holland and countries like this they know how to pronounce this word. Her name was Chava, and what it means in Hebrew, Hava, what it means in Hebrew is Very simple. It's an experience. The meaning of the word Chava is an experience. So Adam is the being, Eve Chava is the experience. And in the beginning, there was no way to differentiate between the two, because the experience was the being and the being was the experience. And I will explain it further along the way. But this is where it all starts. So now, after you know that Adam means us, the being in the human form, having an experience. Adam and Eve, the story of Adam and Eve is us, spirits, light, pure consciousness in the human form, having an experience. So at first, and we have to understand there's a lot of symbolism there in the story of Adam and Eve. As you just heard, it's all symbols of consciousness, of the stages of consciousness. So in the case of Adam and Eve story, you know, they say they fall from grace.